Who's most likely to be 30 minutes early?
By a long shot, not even close.
Who's got the best style?
Probably David, I would say. Depends.
I'll take it.
Who's more of a jet setter?
Probably Phil.
Maybe me.
Yeah, I think so.
I probably have more miles than him in the last 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
But it depends, each of us have different.
Perfectly happy
Yeah.
staying home for the weekend.
Who is the early bird?
I don't actually know. It's just personality-wise,
Yeah,
you feel more
probably
like the
me,
early
yeah.
bird, so we're going to go with it.
Who's the fancy one?
By a long, yeah.
I mean, you're pretty fancy now, but well, David has certain fancy things that he has certain indulgences that he likes.
I'm
and I have certain
upgrading-
things that I like.
I'm upgrading my fanciness. You've been consistently more fancy, though.
Sure.
Who drinks more coffee?
No question.
That one's pretty easy,
Yeah,
though.
because I don't really drink coffee. If I have one cup every 2 months, that's a lot.
Who's the tightest?
Phil's the tightest person I've ever met
Well,
in
David's task
my
was-
life, and I am the opposite of that. I'm David Walker, co-founder and CEO of Triplemint,
I'm Philip Lang, co-founder and COO of Triplemint.
and we are going to ask some questions and give you some answers today. All right, Phil, for those who don't know, can you answer the burning question, how did we meet?
So we met in 2007, fall of 2007,
Yeah.
on the crew team at Yale. David was a freshman at the time. I would have been a junior, and we were both on the lightweight crew team.
Phil was like the experienced older guy who knew his way around, knew what was going on. I was the little freshman that came in, thought I knew everything, and realized I had a lot to learn. And story goes
Did a
from
pretty
there.
good job on that.
Yeah.
So, how did you come up with the idea for Triplemint?
Wow, long time ago.
It was.
Started thinking with our friends Rich and Tyler about how to do something with tech and real estate, and then we started talking about it. And basically, I mean, for those who don't know, we became agents. Long story short, and we basically went out. We figured out what would we want as agents, right? And we built the company that solved for that.
Absolutely.
All right, on a more personal note, we're both about to be dads for the first time. It's a true story. What is on your mind most as a soon-to-be parent? Other
Mostly
than
that
everything.
that I have no idea what to do. Everybody just kind of figures it out, so I assume that, and everybody says it's so hard and it's so rewarding, so I'm just going to trust them, and I think we'll figure it out.
I'm with you.
What's on your mind most?
Other than how to get the legs up on the stroller that I tried to set up yesterday.
Stroller.
Don't ask me questions I don't know the answer to. I'm
My
supposed to know these
my
things.
wife crowdsourced suggestions and made a spreadsheet of all of the different suggestions from people, and so and that's now what we're going to go out and get.
I am most looking forward to just the adventure. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I feel like no matter how much we try to prepare and set up the room and get everything ready, we've just got no idea.
Totally agree.
And I always think the same thing that you said is, there's a lot of people in this world, 8 billion of us.
Yeah.
We figured out how to raise kids. Just gotta believe we're gonna be able to figure it out too.
Exactly. You're probably not the stupidest person to have a baby or the most incompetent person to have a baby.
I
this
really
year,
hope not.
So no, I can't imagine.
I really
don't
hope
think so. What's the best business advice you've ever gotten?
Best business advice I've ever gotten is if you don't feel like the dumbest person at your company, you stink at hiring. And I just love that concept. Like, you are always looking for people smarter than you in every area, in every category, and you want to bring in a diverse group of people who just can do whatever the thing is so much better than you can. And if you take that mentality forever, you build an amazing team. If you have an amazing team, you can do anything.
Totally agree with that. How do you clear the clutter and get focused?
You've seen my desk. I'm not great at clearing the clutter. For me, it's just about thinking about, okay, where are we now? Where do I want to get to? And laying out the process of how I'm going to get there. And mentally, once I've done that, once I've seen the path from A to B, even if it's as simple as, putting together a spreadsheet of something, right? Or if it's as big as some new company-changing initiative. If I can map out the process, then each step becomes simple.
That makes sense.
How about you?
Sometimes it's like resetting my computer.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
They're
Sometimes
tangible.
I just have so many things open. I reset my computer, but usually it's to-do list and going down my to-do list and just making sure that I'm getting done certain things and blocking out distractions at the same time.
I used a to-do list once. I think it was like 2016.
Yeah.
Was
How
the
many
last
Chrome
time.
tabs do you have open right now?
That's unfair. You can't ask me that. 50 plus.
Wow. How does it run?
Well, I just cleared them out 2 days ago. That's why it's only 50.
Someone I saw a tweet the other day that said, every time my computer restarts, it's like a gift because I won't reopen Chrome tabs that I've had open. I just restart, and I just consider that a gift.
Tabs are a problem for me.
Mm-hmm. What is a talent or hobby you have that people are surprised to learn about you?
I'm a pretty good painter. Do a lot of oil painting. I actually just did an abstract painting for my apartment for the first time ever. I've never done an abstract painting, and a lot of respect. Surprisingly hard.
Cool.
How about you? What's a talent or hobby that people don't know about you? Because I know everything about you.
Yeah, what would people be surprised to learn about me? I mean, I guess like I enjoy baking and making things.
Great at baking.
Yeah.
Keep doing it.
Sure.
Yeah, helps everyone. What was an unexpected silver lining of the pandemic for you?
Got to spend a lot of time with family that I never would have spent otherwise. Lived with my parents for 3 months, lived with my in-laws for 6 months, and never would have had the opportunity to spend that much time getting to know them and living with them on my in-law side at least, without it. How about you?
And got to really, really spoil our pets. They will never recover when we have to go back to the office.
That's true. He cries if we're gone for an hour, and we have a neighbor who writes us a note and slips it under our door. Your dog was crying again.
How New York is that?
It's interesting.
Favorite show of all time? It's one of those annoyingly impossible questions.
Right. All time.
All time. Single. I want
Modern
one answer.
Family is amazing. Okay. That show, to go on 10 seasons and be so funny at every point of that show, I think that's probably it.
It's the
How
least
about you?
surprising answer you could
I
give.
mean, it's so good.
I knew you were going to say that.
Veep is also really good, but Modern Family is amazing.
I'm probably, as much as it caused me a lack of sleep, True Detective season 1 just totally blew me away.
Okay.
I couldn't sleep after watching an episode. It's absolutely terrifying and freaky, but I think it's the best show ever performed.
All right.
Yeah. You're great at hiring. What are some traits you look for when hiring?
What are traits I look for when hiring? Good question. So someone once told me that there's people who take blame and there's people who place blame. And you want the people who take blame because they're going to be the ones who are responsible for moving things forward and making sure that they're solving problems versus putting them on other people. So that's a big one.
I like that.
I also look for longevity. So I want people who have had roles where they have been able to move up at the same company, not someone who's moving from this thing to that thing, but I want to see that someone has been through hard times, been through a cycle at a company, has ideally been promoted there, and that they can get through difficult challenges, because so often there's challenges that we face at work every day that if you're just someone who's going to say, oh, this is hard, or this doesn't seem like it's working, then it's really hard to be at a startup.
Yeah, love that.
What do you love most about the company we've founded?
Other than my amazing business partner, obviously, the people in general, right? I mean, we've built
Agreed.
a killer team.
Yep.
It's like motivating to get to work with those people, just awesome to see the excitement and the energy that everyone has.
Yep.
It's all about the team.
Totally agree.
Best business book and why?
I really like Difficult Conversations.
Oh yeah.
Have you read that?
I have.
Yeah.
On your recommendation.
I don't remember who recommended it to me, but just a really great book about communication and how to talk to people about difficult things, which is something that we deal with probably every day.
Yeah, you're gonna have a tough time in business if you can't have a difficult conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about Achilles and the most memorable race you did while volunteering with them.
Sure. So for those of you who don't know, I've run a number of marathons, and I've done a number of them actually with Achilles, which is an organization that helps disabled people run in races and provides guides for them. And so I would say the most memorable one was the first one I did. I had no idea what to expect. It was the first marathon I'd ever done, and I was running with a visually impaired individual. We had done a 5-mile race to prepare the weekend before.
Wow.
He was almost not going to make it. I mean, I remember being on 5th Avenue, and he was like, I can't do it anymore. And we said, no, you got to go, you got to do it. And I just remember crossing the finish line with him, and he was so excited to have done it and so thankful. We put his name on his shirt, and everybody was screaming his name the whole time. It was a cool experience.
That's amazing.
It was fun.
That's a great way to have your first marathon.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
interesting.
Really cool.
What advice would you give to someone looking to start a company?
So, there's so much advice, but the biggest thing I would say is it doesn't get easier, and so you have to embrace that. At every stage of growth, you think that, when we get to the next phase, it'll get easier. And it just doesn't. The challenges just get bigger and bigger. And so if you're gonna start a company, you need to go into it with the mindset of, I want it to get harder, right? If I'm succeeding, it's gonna keep getting harder. And you have to have that mindset, like just bring it on. Bring it on. Let me get to the next level. Let me get to the next challenge. Let me make this even harder than it was before. What does a good partnership look like to you?
So I think a good partnership has two important factors. The first is trust, and the second is mutual respect. And I think if you have both of those things, you can get through pretty much anything that something's going to throw at you.
I love that. Totally agree. Trust, mutual respect, and I think a little differing of opinions.
Sure. Yeah.
Right? Like, what do we always say? Diamonds are made under intense pressure. Got to have a little give and take, a little push and pull.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we're done.
All right.